Hello everyone, this is Kelvin. Today I would love to talk about the darkest days of my life where I've gone through 2 years of depression. Twice I've decided to take my own life, and I've got valid proof for what I've gone through. And in the midst of all, I've achieved few things which seemed very impossible to me. I found Jesus and I stood on faith on Jesus, and God was so amazing and kind and loving in my life. So I would love to share my story. I hope you'll be blessed by this. And if you're blessed, share it with your friends. Alright, where it all started. In 2019, I finished my college, and in the campus interview, I got placed in the company. I was so excited that my life is going to be amazing after this. That I've got a job in a good company, and life is going to be really well, and it's going to be really good. And I went to that job, and it was not the same as how I have imagined. I'm from a place called Trichy, so I went to Bangalore and started working there. I worked for few months, not more than 4 months. I think I just worked for very few months. I started working there. The job was very good. I've learned a lot of stuff on the job, but the atmosphere and the guys who worked there wasn't the same. I really didn't like. And my team lead, I had one guy, who used to abuse me a lot verbally. He used to say all sort of rubbish things towards me. And more important, the job was like night shift. That's something I couldn't bear it, because I was not able to sleep at nights. And so life was so difficult. I have imagined about something else, and what happened was very different. Every day I've gone through the same. He used to point out only me and figure out mistakes that I've been doing, and he used to abuse me verbally. So I was actually 20 years old at the time. So I was not able to take everything with me, because I was not matured enough to handle all these situations. So this went on. What happened one day, I had another team leader, and I went and told him. They actually invited me to a meeting because I was not performing well. They looked at me and asked me why your performance are so low. You won't believe, I cried before them and said, this is what has been happening in my life. I've been going through hell a lot of things in this office, and especially that guy is not really great with me. He's been doing all sort of nonsense towards me. And they gave me hope. They said, okay, we'll take care of this thing. You don't need to worry about it. You shall continue working here. So I believed those people's word, but it was still the same. Hardest thing in life at the time was, to go through everything at the office, and I will come back home and I would never able to sleep. And I believed, okay, let's figure out this. Let's make things happen over here. And I try to sustain myself there. But few more days after that, I was not able to bear that. It was so much for me that I was not able to handle that situation. So I just ran from that company. I just, without informing anyone, I just absconded from that office. I just wrote an email to my manager saying, "This is what I've gone through. I can't take this anymore. I'm done with you guys." And I came back to my hometown again after going through all these things. I was very depressed because life seemed very hopeless at the time. All that I've imagined was I'll get a job and I'll pursue my music career in the side. That's what I've imagined. After that, life seemed very impossible for me, because from my young days, I've gone through a lot of things. And to give a little history about our family, and it's the same as Job's story. I think even it is worse than the Job story from the Bible. Job had everything, he lost everything and God restored everything back. But our story, we had nothing, and between we had something and we had lost everything. That's the kind of story that I've grown up with. because my father, lost a lot of money in his business, and he brought our life back to zero. So that's how my life started again. From my young days, we've gone through so much of shit things in life where poverty was huge, and we were not able to bear all these things. So all these things and the traumas that I've gone through from my childhood was on my mind, and again this thing had happened in my life. So I was so broke and depressed. 2 months I came back to my home. 2 months at the time I was not able to come out of my own room. I shut myself. I was just thinking, am I not worthy to live this life? From my beginning of my life was like this. It was very messy, not happy at all. Nothing I've seen, nothing have happened. To be honest, all the 22 years of life where we've seen a lot of good things happening, God was good, but at the same time it was little hell as well. We were not able to bear everything. We've been cheated by a lot of people. A lot of people cheated our money. We've been backstabbed by a lot of people. All these things really made me very very sad and be worried about life. And so at the time I didn't know what to do. I just lost hope. So 2 months, only thing that I did was I took the Bible and started reading every day. I really, really believed on God. I lost hope on life that I just kept reading the Bible. And the first story that I read in the Bible was story of Gideon, how God was so amazing in Gideon's life. I just kept reading the story and I just cried. And because I was so amazed with the story, like I said, God, are you this amazing, who did wonders in Gideon's life? I said, I'm gonna believe in you, that this amazing God is with me, I'm gonna believe in you that you're gonna restore my life, because God chose Gideon to restore back whatever that people of Israel had lost. So I believed that story. I meditated it multiple times. I believed it. So after that became a little better from that, but I have not fully overcome the depression. But I was able to pursue few other things, though I was a little depressed. I want to say how hard it was at the time. I was not able to sleep even after I came back to my hometown, where I would get all the depressing thoughts, and at the nights I would get nightmares, where that it would scare me a lot. Where in the dreams I used to see all the days I worked at my office, and it would definitely scare me. Now I was not able to sleep, so that's how it was. So life kept going on. Uh, one side I was depressed, and another side I was pursuing my music as well. I started practicing. I started playing the drums again. So one day, what happened? You know, again, it went to the peak where I thought, okay, Kelvin, this is what life has got. You're done with this. I've decided to end up. So I've took a serious decision of ending up my life. So I thought, okay, let's finish it off now. Let's put an end to it. But luckily, what I did, I have an aunt who's like a next mother to me, who's like a second mom to me. I ran to her house and I said, "This is what I was going through. This is what is happening in my mind. My mind is so depressed, and I'm keep on hearing my own voices saying, 'Go die, go die. You don't deserve to live. Why are you living? Life has got nothing for you.'" All these sounds I kept hearing in my mind. I still remember she said, you know, "I knew what you're suffering, and everyone has got to go through this," and she prayed for me, and after that, I started sustaining it for even few more days, but one day, I think Feb 16th. I'll show you everything. I'll put everything what I sent. So that day, I was not able to think of anything. I just decided, because nothing was happening, I prayed, I believed God, but no changes I was not able to see outside. That day I went to Joseph Prince Ministries website and I typed a message to them saying, this is what had happened in my life, and I'm going to end my life. I can't go with this anymore. Life is not changing. 2 years I've been praying and I've been believing God, but nothing is happening. But they were so kind enough. Their team, they prayed for me and then they sent a reply. And then they sent few messages of Joseph Prince. I did listen to those messages. They told me to listen. After that, I became better. But but one day again, I got that thought in my mind. But that day, I still believe. I prayed like anything. I said, I'm done with you. All the negative thoughts, all the suicidal thoughts that you want me to die, I'm done with you. I prayed like anything, and that was the last day that I had that depressive and suicidal thought in me. So, in the meantime, I started preparing for my music exam. 2020, at the end of 2020, I think I started preparing for the grade exams. I had no clue of what that exam was. I got the confidence from reading the word. That time I meditated on Samson's story and David's story, how God did wonders through them. They've had all the difficult times in their life, but in midst of all, how God did the impossible things in their life. That story gave me confidence in my life, and I decided to do that music exam, which I have no clue of what it is. Within 8 months, I prepared for that exam. So that grade system where like 1 to 8 it had, with the confidence that I got from the Bible, from God, I took the last grade exam. I decided, I'm gonna do this. Though I have no clue about what it is, but I'm gonna do this. That is, with a strong faith, I took that decision in 2020. So 2021 Feb was the last day where I came out of all these thoughts and everything. 2021 June, I submitted my exam, and 2021 July is I've got the results, and I got merit on that results, which is unbelievable because I had no clue of what it is, but I worked really relentless for that exam. Almost like 8 months of hard work I've put in. I've made sure I achieve something in life. So that time there were two men of gods who were so helpful, which I owe a lot to them. Is one is Sampi Chelladurai and second is Joseph Prince. His teaching was so amazing, and that was the time I read his book Unmerited Favor. I would definitely recommend you all to read that book, where he had written with the story of Joseph's life and how Joseph had unmerited favor of God, and how Joseph's life was restored back, and how he became like a governor. So that book, again gave me faith, and I restored back my faith. I started reading Bible crazily, started praying. So 2022 is when I started seeing my breakthroughs happening. Almost like 2 years I've not seen anything. Nothing happened in my life, but 2022 beginning itself I started seeing breakthroughs started happening in my life, where I got my first job and I started working at my hometown as a drum teacher, drum instructor for some time. So in the 2020 itself, God started saying, I'll take you back to Bangalore. I've seen few dreams. God used to talk to me through dreams. So I have the habit of writing down all my dreams. I'll put the screenshot over here so that you could see that. So 2020, I saw a dream that I'll be going back to Bangalore again. And 2022, April, if I'm not wrong, I saw a dream, and in the dream, someone laid their hands on me and said, "This is the company that you're going to work. It's a music company." And I really, really believed it. I believed that I would get the job. After 2 months, after I saw the dream, and in the 2 months, God really spoke to me, said, "This time I'm going to take you back to Bangalore, but this time it's not going to be like what you've gone through before in 2019, but this time your life is going to be like the way you always dreamt about it. You're going to do all the things that you dreamt when you were a kid. I always dreamt of becoming a drummer, performing at stages." And he started speaking to me all these things, and I really believed it. And 2022 June is when I got the job. You won't believe, I got the same job opportunity which the person who came into my dream and said, "This is the job you're getting." I believe it's Holy Spirit, who came into my dream and said. So 2022, I got the job. I went back to Bangalore. Honestly, I did all those things, which I have dreamt of. I played with a lot of incredible musicians. I played few gigs, few shows there. Life was so great, and it was so amazing. And I was making some money, and I had a really good time. No, can you just believe it? A guy who was broke in 2019, and how in the 2 years of time he restored my faith. He restored me as a person who twice who decided to take my own life. He restored everything, and he took me to the place where I dreamt, and he took me to the lifestyle of what I wanted, the desires of my heart. That's the Jesus I would like to talk about it today, my friends. He's the God who would love to give the desires of your heart. He wants you to dream. He made me dream all those things, and he gave me all those dreams in life. I was broke. I gone through hell. In midst of everything, I found Jesus. He restored back my life. He restored back my faith. And here I am because of Jesus, guys. Nothing really worked, only following Him. I would love to end this video with the Bible verse from Psalms 34, verse 18. "Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." I would love to say, if you're crushed in your spirit and you're broke in your heart, Jesus is with you, my friend. He was there with me when twice I thought of ending up my life. He was there, He saved my life, and He restored back, and He made it beautiful. I would love to say, He restores your life back beautifully. And have faith in Him, and Jesus is with you. Bye bye.